Good day, good day, good day. We are here for the Impact Podcast. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to talk about tonight's conversation. I'm excited, but also I feel, I'm not going to say judged, but I do feel a little something on the inside because time and myself, we are growing our relationship. We are building, we are building our relationship. I'm becoming friendlier with time. And so tonight we're going to talk about time management for busy women. Okay. And so we're excited to see, this is why I'm really excited because you could tell that we're going to dig deep, but we also have some extra expertise because we not only have one doctor, because we have Dr. Obiama on the call, but tonight we have two doctors tonight. So we bring in the real, because I'm probably a doctor in time management, maybe not in the most positive way, but we got we got the other doctors tonight, and so we're going to bring experience. We're going to bring expertise and all that stuff. So before I take up the whole 45 minutes, let me do this. I'm going to say hello to everyone. Our sisters, Damaris and Dr. Obiama, are here. Hey, ladies. Hey,
Hey,
ladies.
hey.
Hello.
And let us bring in the newly, because Dr. Chelsey let us know that she earned her doctorate in March. And so I want to take a moment to congratulate her
Yes.
on that amazing accomplishment. Dr. Chelsey, I had one good year in. I had one good year. And yes, Obiama and I had a conversation, and it was just like, sis. Um, so congratulations to you. I got a year in my doctorate. That's it.
That's
But
so
so what I'll do is I'll pass the mic to you so you could tell us, Dr. Chelsey, who you are, a little bit about you, and if you could tell us if you could tell us about your relationship with time management.
I love that. Okay. So thank you ladies for having me on. I'm really excited to be on tonight and honored. So I'm Dr. Chelsey Brunson. Often I just call myself Chelsey Brunson. And soon I'm about to get married. So that name is about to change. So I got so I gotta get ready for all these new things that are happening in my life. But who I am is a servant. That's at the core of it. I love to serve people. I love to serve the community. Sometimes people hurt, but it doesn't get rid of me serving. That is the core of who I am. I love to serve. I love to give. I am a generous person. That's who I am. Now, what do I do? My name is Chelsey Brunson again, and I am the owner of Morph Mentoring, where we help businesses find money where they don't think to look. So that's technically like government contracts, grants, loans, lines of credit, low hanging fruit, and so many other avenues of finding finance for your business. I teach about accessing capital and leadership and so many different topics surrounded by like culture, capital, and leadership in businesses. And then I also I'm the founder of Enosis, the Leadership Network, where Dr. Obiama will be joining us in July to speak on a platform where she'll be talking just transparently to the business owners. And when I met Dr. Obiama, I just like fell in love with her at first sight. I was like, this woman is amazing. She just brings such a positive energy. But my relationship with time management is like a roller coaster. If I could just be transparent, it is like a roller coaster. Every time I think I'm okay, I got through how you going up the hill, you're like, okay, I got this, I got this, and then all of a sudden, drop because everything starts to shift. Things are added to your schedule, things are taken away off my schedule. Sometimes somebody double books me, and my children want to do things, and just life happens. And then I want to spend time with God, so it's just a roller coaster. And I'm going to be honest, God has been talking to me about time, studying time. And so this topic tonight, I'm really excited to get into because my relationship is like a roller coaster. Maybe y'all can help me through it.
Dr. Chelsey, I
Yes.
I came on for you to tell me. I'm joking. Listen, it's a team effort. Okay. But thank you for your transparency though, for not showing up and acting like you had it all together, because I feel like we are in good company where we go with the flow. And there are days when I'm like, killed it. And
Yes.
there are days when I have to work on not judging myself and like beating myself up because I mismanaged time. And so for me, I'll say this, and then I'll ask you ladies how how you address time management. But if I could be honest, I started relying on those in my life who are great with time management. So when I know that my husband and I are doing something, or if I have to do something, I have to check in and be like, listen, I gotta be there at 4 o'clock. What time do you think I should leave? Like I that's what I do, because I underestimate. I don't estimate traffic. I don't estimate if I'm running to the store, you got to park. You have to go in the store, wait in line, right? Because I'm like 10 minutes. Everything is 10 minutes to me. And so that's my strategy, is I refer to the people who are better than I am with time as I continue to work on my relationship with her or him.
Oh my goodness, I am cracking up. I'm cracking up. So this is so funny. So here's the thing, and Aaliyah and I had a conversation a while ago about time and about arriving on time and being early and being late. And so I am, I am, I always want to be on time and early. So I'm hardly ever late to anything because I need to get there so I can figure out where I'm going to sit at, where I'm going to stand at, like all of the things. So I am probably what's the word we learned, Leah? I am like over rational, super like analytical. I'm like, so my ability to forecast and in my mind. You ever see that movie called Advantage Point? I think it was Advantage Point. It's like
I've
all
heard of
these
it.
different. So it's a movie about a vantage point, and so it's about a sniper, the life of a sniper, right? And there's all these different viewpoints in which you can see things. So in my mind, I am thinking of, I'm in my mind is like A scenario, B scenario, C scenario, and what happens is this and that. Right. So this time thing is such a thing for me because I don't have enough of it. So
That's
for me, I have to be on time so that I can leave early. Check that out. I need to be on time so I can leave early. So if I can't stay to an event to the end, at least I was there. I showed my face. I did what I need to do, and I was able to dip. Versus me coming in late and being stuck.
that's right.
Yeah,
I can't afford to be stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
that's right.
That's a good point.
I and you and I are very similar, Obiama, because I need, I was brought up, first of all, that if you're on time, you're late. And that was
That's my
something that
husband's
was
line.
instilled in me, from my father. He was always about time management, and it's funny how for my dad, it was really important. Time was important because that defined your work ethics and your work character, right? So since I was a little kid, I always needed to be on time, make sure that I allow myself time. And when I go to events or go somewhere where it's unknown and I don't know too many people, I go there early, I scope out the room, I look for the place in the safe place, right? The safest place in the room, just in case. Because I get very overwhelmed when there's a lot of people around me. I really do. And I need a safe space to go to, right? Um, as far as like tasks and delivering tasks,
See,
people ask me all the time, how do you do it?
Mm-hmm.
How do
yeah,
you do it? How do you time manage to do all the things that you do? And I say, with a lot of sacrifices.
That's right.
I
mm,
make it look easy. Stop looking at social media and looking at my life through social media, thinking that I am like a superwoman. I am not a superwoman. I
Mhm.
mess up. I say a lot of I'm sorries. I miss a lot of things, right? Because maybe I overbooked myself, or maybe I didn't complete something. A report was due the day before yesterday, and somebody, the school district, emailed me like, you need to. And I'm like, yeah, you'll get it when you get it, because that's just the way, after a certain age, at this point, it's not that I don't want to meet these deliverables. It's so many that I got to prioritize which one is more important than the other. And what you're not going to do is kill me.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. And it's so
That's
interesting you brought, because when I jumped into it, that's two different time management in that regard are two different things for me, right? I immediately jumped to the like arriving on time. But the time management in regards to like task management and project management, totally different. Totally different. Um, yeah. And so for me, my time has to be like um set in blocks in days. That's literally how I do it. And I think what's hard for me is to put it in the box of like 15 minutes, 20, an hour or whatever. If you give me that day, like this is my day to get it done, and I have to chunk it out that way, and it has to be related to a goal. Other than that, then that's different. And so now what I've learned to do is create these spaces of time prioritization, family, right? This business, that business, personal time, social. So I have to like chunk it that way to be more successful and feel like that I've not divided it evenly, because that it's not that, it's more so I want to give time to the things that are important to me. So Dr. Chelsey, what would you say in regard, because you have a lot going on as well, and I heard you, right? You have your businesses, you're about to get married, and I know that's been a thing for me too, and all the things that I want to accomplish. You have family, you have self, you have your relationship with God. So what are some ways that you
And I also heard she has children with extracurricular activities, right?
Mhm.
yes, because we just
Yes.
yes, and the babies, yes. So tell us how you've been approaching that, and some strategies that you use, or what has been working, what hasn't been working, so that we can all kind of learn from what each of us are doing and how we can maybe be more productive, if you will.
So this is great. Everything has to go on my calendar. If it's personal or business, it has to go on my calendar. But I do not let my family feel like they're a part of my calendar. So
Mm.
even though it's on the calendar, I don't always tag them in it, because I don't want them to feel like they have to schedule time with mommy, or they have to schedule time with my fiance, or with my daughter. And they'll say it, oh, it's just the only time I have with my daughter right now. Now, mind you, we all live in the house together. My fiance is not there yet, but he's moving in. And he also has two children, and his mom lives with him. So it's a big blended family coming together. And I was afraid, but I noticed that maybe, like, I would say like 2 years ago, the calendar started to overwhelm me,
Mm.
because I wasn't keeping up on it. I had that every, how you have an agenda where you write stuff down. That was no longer working for me. I had to grow from that, and I started to implement AI and technology. And I'm always finding some other app, but right now I use a Google Calendar. Right now,
I was going
does
to
it?
ask, you ever use
Yeah,
Motion? Have you used Motion?
no,
Anybody?
not yet.
Okay.
But my marketing and tech team, they have me set up with a software that is attached to Go High Level, where if someone books me, then they do all this different stuff. That's not my forte. I just do what says, Chelsey, be here. You know what I mean? But everything has to be on that calendar. But even beyond, family and the businesses, I'm a worship leader. So I have to remember to put time into rehearse, and that'll fall behind. So I literally have to make sure everything's charted out. But then I sit with what I'm doing in the future, and that planning for the future too.
Yeah.
And so that's like those events. That's like those things that you want to get out, that if it's a write a book, if it's, whatever it is. So now I'm learning to put that all into one place, where I can see it all. And I'm big on drawing on like boards and whiteboards and calendars and having it in my space saying, okay, by 2025 I want to do this, by 2028 I want to do that. Like having those things in my immediate atmosphere. When I wake up in the morning, it's in my room, I can see it, to reassure myself, okay, this is how much time you got left, and then I see what's on the board that already came to pass. So it's like these types of things in my circle, in my atmosphere, in my on my phone, making sure the calendar is attached to the phone or wherever I am so that it's readily accessible. That is how I'm able to cope with so much time. And those buffers, I set my clocks later than it actually is. And my kids are like, yo, what are you doing? All these clocks are wrong. And I'm like, I have to.
Same.
Yeah. I needed to be at least 5 to 10 minutes wrong. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a time hack. And especially, and it's so interesting. What I love about this topic, and this conversation, I mean, the four of us are all the things. Like the four of us are literally all the things. We operate multiple businesses. We have children. We are, well, y'all are partners. I'm happily single. Ha. And
Nah, what was that? I love the happily part, but it was okay.
But anyway, my point though is this, is that I love what you said, Chelsey, about not making the children feel like they are a part of the schedule. And then, but here's the other part of it, right? It's such a dance. It's such a dance because for me, my children have to be a part of the schedule, or I won't be able to, like, I won't be able to take my son to basketball practice if I don't schedule it.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise I'll be teaching a class or I'll be doing something else, right? So like for me, I have to tell him, like, you have to tell me this, you have to text me so I can put it in the schedule. Like you have to be. And so what I love is perspective, perception, and then it's not a one size fit all cookie cutter approach, right? Because relationships are different, right? Everybody family dynamics is different. And so where you are with your children, where Aaliyah is with her children, and Damaris is with hers, I have my baby left who's 12. All of my other children, they're grown, right? So the other perception or perspective for me is, as I include him and make him a part of, I'm also teaching him.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's a good point. I think it's a different lens. I think one thing that I'm learning too, I keep looking, the title Busy Women, and we are definitely mindful of being.
We're productive and profitable. I don't do business because busy people be broke.
Well, because where I was about to go was like busy like a bee and not like a fly. Because I'm like, no, we're not broke because we're not going to do that. Let me look in the camera. We're not. Listen, so we can change the word in there. But I don't want to be how they used to say busy like a fly, like productive, right? That's what the busy like a bee. But I think what I've learned too is to also not be run by my calendar. It runs me, but I don't want it to run me, right? Because I don't really like the whole control thing anyway. But when I start to feel like I'm kind of going crazy and I'm overwhelmed by it, I'm learning to not do things too far in advance to where as though I'm locked in. But for example, I'm definitely a quarterly planner. That's my thing. And so I know though that my theme days and the way I schedule my stuff is kind of by the quarter. Because my goals change every quarter, my time changes and how I manage things. But I think it also allows, that's the grace period, I think. And it allows me to say, you know what, last quarter, that I didn't like how that felt. So this quarter, here's my goal with the number of hours I'm working, or how many days I'm going to work from the home office. And it just gives space. So I think us having this conversation about time, I don't want to be lost in, oh my goodness, I have to, I have to, I have to. You know, I think I know that we have a lot more control over our lives. And so just being mindful that, yes, our calendar says we have to do these things, but once our commitments are done, it's okay to say, listen, I'm going to fall back a little bit from whatever, because I need these moments of quiet. And I think I've built that now into my calendar, where there's quiet time so that I can assess how I'm feeling. It's like, am I overwhelmed? Because if that's the case, then I need to adjust something. And then I'm no longer busy like a bee, because it doesn't feel productive. What it does is it feels like I'm just running. I'm just running rampant, doing things, but it doesn't feel good. And I don't want that for my life. What's you guys' thoughts on that in regards to, okay, checking in with how you're feeling and adjusting or pivoting, as Dr. Obiama would say?
So I love everything you just said. As you said, I'm a quarterly planner. So I'm not a quarterly planner. I'm like an annual planner. I'd say like this, I love winter because that's my break, that's my planning time. So if it's like around the holidays, December time, if somebody asks me to do something, there's like one municipality that asks me to do stuff in December, and I go for them. But aside from that, everybody else is like, no, unless you're that close to me, like, then I really can't give you nothing in that season. But because I'm always planning and I need time to sit. And then January, if you look at everything is like a business to me. So if you look at your business time, you know that, okay, around the holidays, certain businesses may slow down, right? And certain businesses speed up. So I use that to my advantage. And that's my planning time. And then going into like January, it's still a little slow, unless you're launching something new year, whatever marketing you're doing, right? And then I know for us, I didn't mention this, I also own a tax firm. So I know February tax season, trying to get it right. So I try to give myself that buffer. So even if it's surgery has to be done or anything like that, but then I do that evaluation of each quarter, like you said. So even though I plan for the year, I'm like, hold up, did these plans go like they were supposed to in this quarter? Because everybody that said they was going to be there ain't there right now. So I've been doing most of this by myself, or, okay, this person really did come through. So now they're adding to my calendar for the rest of the year. And so with all of that being said, the buffers come, I would say, or not even the buffers, the reevaluations for me come quarterly and weekly.
Okay.
So it will go like quarterly, monthly, sometimes weekly. What is going on, especially for me with grants and things of those deadlines and stuff, it's going to help me navigate because I never know when a deadline is coming. So if it's a new grant, federal, whatever level, city, state, whatever, I never know what's the deadline. And so with that being said, that also makes me have to pivot and adjust. And if the week says, okay, you got to study for a week and I didn't know that grant was coming, now I have to move things around. And I stopped taking dead meetings. Those dead meetings that when I call them dead meetings, like there's no, say it again.
Time waster. They're
the dead meetings. They're just gonna be that it's gonna kill my time. It's killing it.
Okay.
So I call them dead meetings where I know for a fact nothing is coming of this. Because you can tell in the first like 15 seconds of a conversation prior to your meeting, or even in an email, is this going to be a productive meeting? Is this going to be a meeting that is going to convert? Now, I'm not saying don't take chances and opportunities, but I started to have that discernment in me and say, okay, wait a minute, this one, I don't think that's going to work out the way. And then if someone says something to me in my cohort or my circles and say like that person, I don't know, watch out for them. Now I'm like, okay, so now my meetings with them are on guard. Let me try to cut this short, or I'm about to reschedule this, because I don't want the stress ahead of me. So sometimes it could be even an hourly check-in for myself. And if I say to my staff, clear my calendar. They know, oh, she need a whole day. And it's not like a bull in a china shop need a whole day. Chelsea's stressed, or Chelsea's she need a minute. So they'll just automatically, hey, we're sorry, we got to reschedule everything. And having that support team to help me with my time, that has been, I don't know what I would do without my executive assistant at this point. She literally keeps me in check. So those time frames, quarterly, annually, weekly, monthly, those are really big deals.
That is so good. I love that. That is so good. I love the hourly check-in, the weekly check-in, and then just having a support team that when you like, no, clear my schedule. That right there, that's a game changer right there. The other point, and I love this, and this is something that Aaliyah and I talk about often as well. You said dead meeting, but it's the, is it worth your time? And really looking at how am I spending my time? Who am I spending my time with? And even with the chunking of and this is a conversation that Leah and I had probably about maybe a year or 2 years ago in terms of business and the launching of business, right? And it was like, okay, how much though do you want to dedicate to this? The balance of, well, I still want to make sure I have enough time for my husband. I still want to make sure I have enough time for my kids. I still want to make sure. So because of that, and I want to say, and I'm speaking for you, Leah, but I know that that has made such a difference because when we talk, it's like, okay, how you doing? With your time, are you keeping your commitments to yourself?
That's
What
right.
I said was important to me.
Yeah,
You said that was important to you. How are you doing with that?
yeah,
And again, that goes back to me needing, like you said, Dr. Chelsey, the support team. I know I need the support team, right, to hold me accountable. Listen, I love what I do. Now, COVID and both the home office, I can be in here. I have to be like, you know what, time to go, time to go. And because I love it, and like you said at the beginning, you're a servant leader, right? Service a lot of times is giving, 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 and that could take away from what you said you wanted. And so I know for me that I could get so deep into what I love that I could forget about those things and those people that I said I wanted to spend more time with and that was important to me. And I think sometimes um I've worked, still working through like the judgment moments, like the self judgment of like you said you were going to time here, but you haven't, and then the season. So is that my internet?
mm-hmm,
Can you hear me?
mm-hmm,
Okay. So you mentioned Dr. Chelsey launching. I'm more mindful of the launching periods throughout the year. I know you mentioned like January is a season for you, and so when I'm looking at how I want to launch or have different introductions of business and stuff, I'm looking at the particular times of the year instead of just going and just doing stuff. It has to be so much more intentional, so that I don't fall short where I don't want to. And not to say that things don't happen. Things do happen, but I try to not sacrifice the family and the people because I'm overcommitting, if that makes sense, right? Like I typically won't let that part slide, but it seems sometimes to let the family or yourself or those other things fall by the wayside, and just really trying to be more mindful of that, which is why I was excited about this conversation too. First of all, I feel like I'm not alone, A. And B, right, I feel we always have opportunities to learn something new and to convene with other like-minded women, business owners who you can relate with. And you're like, thank you. It's not just me. And now I can put something else into practice. So thank y'all for sharing.
And you know what? Here's the other thing. For those of you who are listening and listening to this replay, I know that you guys have seen yourself in our stories. And what's so beautiful is that the four of us are all so different and very much the same. Right, we're very different, but we're very much the same. And so the whole conversation of being kind to yourself and not sitting in that seat of judgment is really important, because too oftentimes the women who don't have community often feel shame and guilt because the people that surround them are shaming them and pointing their finger at them and saying they are a bad mom. They don't spend no time with their children, or they don't spend no time. So if you have, and I want to say this, if you have people that are around you that is judging how you spend your time, please remove them. Give yourself permission to remove all of that negative energy, because you don't need it and it's counterproductive. You need to get you a get it community. Have people around you and in your corner and in your business that's going to celebrate you and not tolerate you and not be in the background hating and jealous and envy, because they really want to be like you. They just don't know how. That's where it's coming from. I'm just saying.
You just took all the words. Yeah, she took all the words on my mouth, right? So I'm like, this is amazing, because literally what I was going to share, and I love how you say it's a relationship, but what I was going to share is that it took me 15 years in college and master's program and doctoral program. And so not everybody had my life. Not everybody had my life. My life is different. Yes, I'm getting married now, but I was a single mom for 9 years, almost 10 years. So as a single mom, most of that time that I was in school, I had a baby. And then I had another baby. And then my mom got sick. And then my dad got sick. And then I got sick, in and out the hospital. And people did not have my life. And I always say this, once I got my doctorate, somebody said, "Oh, congratulations, it's about time." And I said, and Obiama, Dr. Obiama, you just said it. You just said sometimes they hate and they want to be you. All of what you said, that energy you carry, it is very true. Do not let these people tear you down. I don't care. Only 2% of the whole entire world can become a doctor. So anybody yes, these are the stats. So when you make it to that position, I don't care what position you make it to. If you make it to management, if you make it to team lead, I don't care. You deserve the credit for what you've accomplished, no matter how long it takes.
Yes.
And don't let someone throw it back in your face saying about time. No. How dare someone say that to you? Everything comes in the right timing to people. Yeah. Everything comes in the right timing to people. So it's a really big deal when we create that team. So one lady, her name is Krishna Powell. She is amazing, and she's a leader. She speaks on different platforms. And Krishna, I saw her speak, and she said, y'all need to create team whoever your name is. And so that's really big what you said. And I'll never forget when Krishna said, I always give her credit for what she said. She said, because I got to create Team Krishna. So who is Team Krishna? Who is Team Chelsey? My therapist.
Yes.
If I have a coach that's coaching me, whether it's a results coach, a nutritionist, whoever it is, I don't care if I pay you, your Team Chelsey, I could pay you to be on my team.
Yeah. I like that.
Creating our teams, and that's all credit to Krishna Powell. But I'm telling you, this is really important for us to be able to cultivate that and master the relationship with time. That's just my thoughts.
I love that. And really what I heard you ladies say, and I think a lot of people needed to hear that, is that being given permission to do that. Because if all you hear in your ear is here's what it should look like, or here's what you're supposed to be doing, you don't necessarily know what else it could look like, or that it's okay. And that's why I said too, thank you ladies because there's moments where it's like, is it just me? I know I can do better. It's self-talk, or you have the people around you, and to know that, you have permission to be about you and to have a team. I love that. I love that. I'm gonna write that down.
Self-talk is probably the most important thing that I could share with our listeners tonight. Is you have to affirm yourself. You have to tell yourself, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't meet this deadline. It's okay. Anxiety is real.
Yes.
It's real. It's so real. And so, I told y'all the calendar stresses me out. So if my time is slipping away, or I feel like it's being stolen or anything like that, though, that's violation. And so for at the end of the day, like I can't allow something to control me. Back to what you said earlier, I can't allow it to control me. But that self-talk says it's okay for me to take a break.
Yeah.
It's okay for me to go to bed and the dishes ain't done.
Because who said that they had to be? Whoever said that anyway? Now, if mom come over, I don't know about y'all. Mom come over, I got to straighten up real fast.
But now, you know, so here's now I'm gonna get technical for a moment. The reason why the dishes shouldn't be left in the sink, because of rodents, because of uninvited rodents.
I know.
That's why. It ain't a who said, it's you
not nasty, dirty
in the sink. And here come the mice and all kind of unexpected guests. So the rodent said, don't invite me by leaving your dirty dishes in the sink. It was the rodents.
Now, we're not keeping no dishes in the sink for days with food all on them.
But some people do, right? But some people, listen, some people
I'm not talking about them.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The kindness conversation. The kindness conversation goes like this, because we are the ones that's really the hardest on ourselves.
Yes.
And then what we do is we give permission to someone else to speak into our space, and then we affirm it by agreeing with them. So what we have to do is just say, if I had the capacity at that time to do something different, I would have. That's the kindness conversation.
Yes.
If I had the capacity to do the dishes, I would have, but my body said otherwise, so I didn't.
And that's the type of conversation.
Right. Yes. There's no guilt. There's no shame. There's no pointing the finger. There's no nothing. My body shut down and I had to obey it.
That's right.
Because there was no energy left. Therefore, I didn't have the capacity to do anything else.
That's right.
That's it.
That's when I get a dishwasher. It's okay.
Yes.
There's alternatives.
Right.
I'm saying if the self-talk is that, I'm really just saying there's always an alternative, right? If that's really you, friend, if that's you, like Dr. Obiama, and you don't want your dishes in the sink, then get a dishwasher. I don't know if you have kids. My kids, we're not going to do that. But my kids are washing the dishes. But no, seriously, I really only say that to say, whatever that thing is for you, there really are alternatives. Like there's things that I don't like either, but there's people for everything. There's people and there's things, just like it's AI, it's calendar apps, it's all kinds of stuff. It's people who literally pick up your bags of clothes, wash them, fold them, and deliver them.
Yeah, like Instacart. I don't grocery shop. I can't. I don't have time.
And that's what I'm saying. There's someone for everything, because we really don't have to live in the space of shame anymore. Like my husband just got me the Roomba. I'm so excited. The little Roomba thing, the little robot. Yup. Sweep the floor, mop the. I love that. My mom was like, "What?" I love that. I don't have to live, because I want to do some other things with my time, and I can choose to do that by investing in or purchasing or getting gifted something that will eliminate that, so that don't have to be a thing anymore. That's all I'm saying. It's something for that, friends. It's someone for it, and it's something.
And here's the thing. As we are multifaceted women in a fast-paced world, we have to invest in the things that's going to give us back our time. We have to, right? So that's the other part of the conversation. What is it? And this really fits into time management as well, because I'm always saying to myself now, here's how I balance my time. Because someone said, I was talking to someone yesterday, and they was like, "Oh, you can do this, you can make a flyer, you can do this," and I was like, I have my team for that. I say that from this perspective. It will take me all day to make a flyer. not because I can't, but because I'm so technical, everything got to be aligned or whatever. I don't have 8 hours to spend on something that I can delegate, right? And I can now focus on the thing that only I can do. And
That's
so where we get caught up when it comes to time management is trying to control everything and thinking that we have to do everything or it's not going to be right. No, delegate your weakness so that you can focus on your strength.
That's it.
Delegate your
good.
weakness so that you can focus on your strength. And that's really how you are able to better master your time, by not trying to do it all, not trying to be all things to all people, and saying, okay, what is the thing that only I can do?
Mhm.
Like, only you can be a mom to your children. Only you can be a wife to, like, that's not something you're delegating, right? So it's like, okay, but washing dishes, can I get a housekeeper for that?
It is sometimes
Absolutely. Can I can I
yes,
get a housekeeper to clean? You know what I mean? So
yes.
I just want to say that because that's really important, because this shame and guilt conversation is, we deal with it. We deal with it, but I say release it, release it, release
I
it.
release it.
It has been granted. It has been granted. That reminds me of the like the Eisenhower matrix, if you will, right?
Yes,
Identify the things that you like love to do. What do you hate doing? What do you like doing, but you rather not? And it's similar to that. And I think listeners, which you guys can do is really even going throughout your day. But I know I have my team at times every now and again throughout the year time track just to get an idea, because if even us, if we just time track to get an idea as to how we're spending our time, you get a picture, right? Because sometimes it's like, where did the day go? Well, if we really look back, here's the percentage of time you spent doing this. Here's the percentage of time you spent doing that. But if we also think about in the moments throughout the day, maybe those moments where we felt guilt or like, oh my gosh, like so that we can reflect and say, you know what, that right there, I don't really have time for it, and that's where I need to learn to delegate it. Or I really don't want to pass that up because I love doing that thing. It brings me joy, because I believe we should keep the things that bring us joy as long as they're not time wasters. We don't want dead meetings and things like that, because it could have been an email. You could have just sent that via email or a voice note. So, and I say all that to say, use tools like that, just taking those moments of reflection to say, how do I want my time spent? What do I love doing? And who then can I get help so that I can remove that shame, but I can still get things done in my life. It's tools
well,
for stuff and
that
people.
that that's it right there. I think this is a great way to kind of close this conversation out. Get help, delegate your weakness, focus on your strength. Don't sit in the seat of shame and guilt and judgment. Be kind to yourself and gift yourself with a team of people that get you, team whosoever, whether you got to buy them or bribe them,
never,
whatever you
never problem.
need.
Listen, one thing as we're wrapping up, I would love, because I think it's related to, I would love Dr. Chelsey to tell us about this, because I know my eyebrow raised when you said you help people find hidden money. And by finding hidden money, that can allow you to do the things that you love to do,
Exactly.
more free time. So please tell us, tell
Okay.
us a little more about that and what you do and how people can contact you, a little more about your business so that people know where to find Dr. Chelsey and how they can find their money because it's hidden.
Okay. So you could, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Chelsey Brunson, and Facebook at Chelsey Brunson. My company's name is Morph Mentoring, MORPH, like metamorphosis, Morph Mentoring. And so that money, right? So I'm always about accessing capital. So some of that is in government contracts. And what a lot of people, and I want to share this little nugget because I love to empower minority owned businesses. I'm big on that. So some of that is saved to the side for us as women in business, as minority business owners. It's called set aside programming, set aside. And it's a real thing. And so these counties, these states, these cities, these, the federal government, they have anything that you can do as a service can be a government contract as long as it's legal. And so I'm talking about government right now, but there's so many different avenues. There's corporate companies. There's, so many different avenues you can get into with finding money where you're not really thinking to look. But, those set aside programs, it's billions of dollars that just keeps rolling around because none of us are competing for it. None of us is going for it. So honestly, like the ratio in certain municipalities is like for a set aside program or a set aside contract that's released, 1 or 2 people will go for it. Maybe 1. Sometimes they get 0. So they have to keep putting it back out there. And so part of my mission is to empower and to educate minority owned businesses to get into the realm of government contracting because it's secure. The government always pays their bills. But in the meantime, there's also lines of credit, loans, credit card stacking methods, real estate, passive income. We have an event coming up Thursday about passive income. And so, we're going to keep teaching these things because to know how to access the capital to invest in you writing your book or you doing whatever marketing or whatever, it's ways to get it, it's ways to find it. So yeah.
Okay, so I want to say this. For those of you who are really intrigued about this hidden money, and maybe you are saying to yourself, well, I don't qualify for a government contract, or I don't qualify this, or my credit this. Listen, get your ticket for the Impact Summit that is happening on Saturday, April 27th, because Dr. Chelsey will be in the building.
Yeah.
Yes. So you really do not want to miss this opportunity to have a more intimate conversation with her and ask her questions that are specific to your situation.
Yes.
Don't miss out. Okay, because she's productive and profitable and she ain't got time for no dead meetings.
Pulled it all together. I know that I will be going over and talking to Dr. Chelsey because I want to find the hidden money too. I definitely do. It's so much we don't know about with government contracting, and I'm so excited to hear more about it. And I'm excited that you're coming to the Impact Summit. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for pouring into us tonight and convening and having this conversation. What feels so good to me is, and this has been happening the last couple of years, and especially when we do the podcast, is I believe we are demystifying this whole thing about women coming together and the crabs in a barrel, and you can't connect with women because they tear you down, all of that stuff, and that's not happening here. So thank you for coming and sharing, and just being real and open and honest, so that other busy, productive, but profitable women, they can see what it looks like. They can see also that you can get your doctorate, you can be getting married, you can do all the things, own your businesses. And I think what's happening is here is what people need to be able to see, or young women or women, that it is possible. So thank you for showing up and sharing with us. Dr. Obiama, you already know we've been together like all day today. And so it was great to see you yet again. Our sister Damaris was not able to connect back with us, but we will have her chime in the comments. So if you are watching this and you have something to share, please share in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you need. But as Dr. Obiama said, don't forget to get your ticket to the Impact Summit, April 27th. You can catch the link. We'll put that in there with the episode. Until next episode, we'll see you later. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you on Saturday, April 27th to be exact. That's when we'll see you.
That day. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Chelsey. Have a good one. Bye-bye, guys.